Can anyone please confirm if they can see my screen?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good. Thank you. So welcome to Coding Airways. So we'll be learning the basics and the fundamentals of Python programming, and this should set up a strong, solid foundation for you. So to describe what Python is, it's a high-level language. So it's effectively what happens is that the Python code first is read by a compiler, right? And this compiler, it checks and verifies the instructions and the code and the syntax. So like the grammar, the spelling, and then this is converted into bytecode once it has finished. Then this bytecode is transferred to something called Python virtual machine, or in short form, PVM. So this is an interpreter, and this converts the bytecode into machine code. So this machine code is something which the CPU within the computer understands. And that's how humans and the computer communicate with each other. However, if there is an error when PVM translates it, then the error message is popped up and the execution is stopped. So to make this more easier, I'm gonna go onto my painting tool. So we can have Python code here. And then this gets translated by a translator or a compiler. And then what happens here is that this gets translated to bytecode. Then this bytecode gets translated into PVM, gets transferred to the PVM machine. And then this converts it into machine code. I'm just gonna write MC. Okay, does anyone have any questions before I progress forward? I am gonna take that as a no. Okay, let me continue. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, so to display a message on the screen, you write the command print and then a pair of parentheses, and inside the brackets, you place the message or text you want to put. So essentially, when we say print, think of it like a printer. When you press a Word document and you go to File and press Print, it physically prints out the print on the printer. We're doing the exact same thing in Python. However, we're not physically printing it out. We're printing it on the virtual screen. So we just write the word keyword print, and then we have 2 pairs of brackets, and then we have 2 pairs of speech marks. And inside the speech marks, we write the message. So can everyone please go on to Jupyter and please write this code and check if it's running. And please tell me when you're done. You can unmute if you want. Ashwin, I'm not sure what you mean by no. Can you please unmute and tell me?
Oh, as in I meant no, as in I didn't have any questions.
Oh, sorry. Okay, good. Has everyone's code worked?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I think Kavanaya is asking, where did we write it? So Kavanaya, have you got Jupyter installed?
Yes, but where in Jupyter do you write? I don't have that screen that you have there.
Okay, so do you have a section called File in the top? And then you press New Notebook, and then you press Python 3.
Okay,
And
thank
this
you.
will create a new Python file for you. Okay, I'll just wait for 1 minute. Okay, is everyone done now? Has everyone got their code working?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's carry on. Now let's carry on. So next is, it doesn't give me an option to make a new notebook. Okay, Avanaya, that is strange. Do you want to share your screen? I'm going to stop sharing and I'll make you share your screen. Kavanai, are you there?
I didn't say that I did. It was Akshaya. Akshay. It was not me.
Wrong person. Akshay, so is it not giving you an option to create a new notebook?
No.
Do you mind sharing your screen so I can?
Sure. It says the host has disabled participants from sharing screen.
Okay, can you try now?
Okay.
Right. Okay, so can you please, do you see new at the top? Go to your right. Yeah, new. It's next to upload. Yeah, go up there, click there. Yeah, go to Python 3. Yep, you're done. Now you can just type print hello world and then it should run. Okay,
Okay, thanks.
you're welcome. Let me just start sharing my screen again. Okay, so next is comments. So comments are annotations that exist alongside code that help to improve readability and maintainability. And they're used to explain what the line of code intends to do, which makes it easier and quicker to understand. So for instance, we can see this example. So we have length is equal to input. So for someone may not know what this line of code does, but then we can put a hashtag and then write down this line of code asks the user to enter the length of the rectangle. So similarly, if we go back to Jupyter, someone may not know what this line of code does. So we can write down hashtag, and then this line of code prints hello world. And if you run it, it gives the exact same output. So the program completely ignores what's after the hashtag. This is just for us to understand. So if we go back, we can see width is equal to input, ask the user to enter the width of the rectangle, and area is equal to length times width, which obviously is the area of the rectangle. So does anyone have any questions before I progress forward?
How do you print multi-line comments?
I cannot hear you.
How do you print multi-line comments?
Oh, multi-line comments, sure. So you go to here, and then let's say I want to enter, yes, I want to enter like, hello, how are you? So you have 3 speech marks, and you just press enter. Then you can write as many lines of code as you want. And it's still, well, okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry, I just need to admit a person inside. Sorry about that, guys. I was having a bit of trouble. Let me just share my screen again. Okay, yeah. So in multi-line comments, you can write down 3 speech marks, and then like this, and then just write whatever statements you want. So this will not be executed. So the output is here. We'll forget about that, but like the output is here, and it says hello world. And this is not part of the program. This is not part of the output. So if I write down print hello world, print hi, this will still run. This is the output. This is not the output of the code because it's inside the comments. Does anyone have any questions about that before I move on? I am going to take that as a no. Okay, let me continue. So variables and data types. So these are 4 statements about variables. So it's a named piece of memory in RAM. And does anyone know what RAM stands for? I am unable to hear you. Can you please unmute?
Random access memory.
Yeah, correct. Random access memory, correct. So I lost my mouse. Okay. So it stands for random access memory, and that stores and holds a value. And this can be changed, manipulated throughout the program when required. So let's say if I have a variable called number and I assign it to 7, I can change it whenever I want to. I can manipulate it. So an identifier is the name given to it, like you just said, number. So and this helps programmers to keep track of what variables they're using. However, I said here, it is important to create sensible, clear variable identifiers. For example, it would be more appropriate to assign $3.50 to a variable identifier of cost rather than COX. So for example, Let me just exit my screen. Sorry. So let's say I said number is equal to 7 or cost is equal to 7. And then if I say, or if I say C is equal to 7, which one do you think is a better identifier, cost or C?
Cost.
Yeah, because it's much easier to understand. I can call this X, I can call this this. It's a bit random. Like, you should have a sensible identifier. So I'll give you another example in the next slide. Sorry. So rules for variable identifiers. So ideally, your identifier should be reasonably short. Not like extremely short, like X, Y, Z. It's not really practical. So this avoids accidentally misspelling your identifiers within your program if it is used again, and it avoids any syntax errors. So let us say I named this as 7, and if I want to use this again in the program, I have a high chance of making a mistake when I call this, and then I may get a syntax error. However, if I just call this number, it's easier for me to remember. It's easier for me to track. So I can just call it whenever I want in the program. So in some cases, identifiers might actually be commands or reserved words, meaning you need to change the name of the identifier. For example, you can't say print is equal to 2, because print is already a command. So another command in Python is in. You can't really say in is equal to 8 because in is already an inbuilt command in Python. So we can't really use that. It's going to give an error because it's going to get confused which one I'm talking about. However, on a side note, this is correct. Number is equal to 2, print number, because first of all, number is clear. And secondly, number is not a command in Python. And on a side note, also do not start identifies the number. For example, do not do 442 Oons is a football channel. I'm sure some of you may have heard of this channel before, but yeah, we cannot really start with a number. It's not a good practice. It's not really, doesn't really work, but you can start with, sorry, this should be a small letter. You can start with a small letter and a letter, and then you can follow it on with some numbers. So we can say 442 Oons is a football channel. Does anyone have any sort of questions before I carry on? I am going to take that as a no.
So identifies the number.
Sorry, you're breaking up. You're breaking up quite badly. Hello? Can you hear me?
Hi.
I can't hear you for some reason.
Yes, I can hear you. Well, oh,
I can't hear you. Is there? I think you're breaking up quite badly.
You can type it in the chat.
Can anyone else hear Sadra, or is it just me? Okay, I think it's gone. Okay, let me carry on, or let me just wait for him to come back. Okay. So I'm gonna give you a quick task. I want you to create a variable and assign it to your age, and then print your age out. So I'm just gonna give you 1 minute. So I'll repeat the task. Write a variable containing your age and print it out. I'll wait for 1 minute. Yeah, so I can see already some people have got the answer. They've got the code working. So I'm just gonna progress forward. So we have an example here. It's actually the same example. My age is equal to 15. Okay, I'm actually 16, not 15. My brother's age is 11. And what I'm essentially doing here is I'm calculating the difference in my age and my brother's age. So does anyone want to have a guess what this keyword means? ABS, abs. It's not your abs. I mean the actual.
Absolute value.
Sorry.
Absolute value.
Correct. Absolute value. So absolute value means it gives a positive value. So let's say my number was -7. I want the absolute value of that. The absolute value of that would be 7. Do you get what I mean? Does anyone have any questions? Okay. So print the difference in age is plus str difference. So this method is called concatenation, where you have a plus and then you put and this is called casting, where you're converting the integer value into a string, because the difference variable is actually an integer. Like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, these are all integers, but I want to convert it into a string. So what I do is I put str and then brackets difference. So print the difference in age is plus str difference. Okay, I'm gonna give a quick task. I want you to have one number, 7, and have one number and have another number, and then add them up together, and then print it out without looking. So I'll repeat the task again. So have two numbers and add them together and print them out using the concatenation and casting. I'll give you 1 minute for that task. Yeah, sure, Sadra. So str, it means string. So it means essentially text. Do you understand now, Sadra? What's its function? Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Do you mean what's the importance of str? it prints it in a more nice and more string and more text value. Basically, it converts something into a string. Does that answer your question? Okay, yeah. Thank you. I'll just wait for like 15 seconds.
Is what I typed in correct?
Yeah, so Shlok, you are correct, but I just want to push it more. Can you try using the casting and concatenation?
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna ask a random person to share their screen to see what they have done. I'll pick Ashwin. Ashwin, can you please share your screen? Ashwin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen. I seem to have done it wrong.
Yeah, correct, because you said str difference, right? First of all, you haven't assigned a variable called difference, so the program doesn't know what difference is.
Oh,
So maybe you have to first create a variable called difference, and then you can add the ages up together. Secondly, instead of finding the difference, I want you to add them together.
okay.
So I'll just watch. So you can copy and yeah, okay, yeah, sorry. Carry on.
Shall I unshare my screen?
It's your choice. It's your choice. I can see what you're doing. It's fine.
Is what I typed in correct now?
Print hello world. Okay, so age is equal to 10. Sister's age is equal to 17. Yep, you're correct. That's another way of doing it instead of just assigning it to a variable. So as Shlok Acharya has done, he's straight away not assigned it to a variable. He has written age per sister age, and then he's put them in brackets, and then he's put str. I'll just copy and paste it in my screen just to make it more better. So can you see my screen now?
You're not sharing it.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me share my screen. Share. Okay, is it now better? Yeah, okay. So Shlok has done this. So he has added the age and the sister's age together, which is here. And he has put them in brackets. And then he has put str, which I explained earlier. It converts values to a string format. And then if I run his code, it prints out 27. Another way you can do this is a longer way, but you can just say add is equal to age plus sister age. And then you can just print str add. But Shlok Acharya's way was quite a good way. Also, it's a much shorter way. I'm going to ask a random person again to share the screen. Sadra. Sadra, can you please share your screen?
think you have to stop sharing so he can share.
Yeah, thanks. Sadra, are you there? Sadra, no. Kavanaya, what do you mean by no?
Oh, it meant that you were not.
I was
sharing
just
the
saying that I couldn't see a screen before. Now I
Oh,
can.
okay, sorry. Okay, good. Sadra, are you there? I think he's gone. No. Okay. Okay, I think he has some internet issues. Okay, I'll go to another person. Oh, Shreyas. Shreyas, can you please share your screen, please?
Just finding, please wait.
Yep, that is correct. That's correct. You actually do not need the absolute value because abs if you add the ages together, it's always going to be positive anyway. You can't have a negative age, so you can get rid of the abs, but if you have the abs, it will still work. Okay. Any questions before I carry on? No?
No.
Okay, good. Let me carry on my my PowerPoint, which has seemed to disappear. Sorry, I'm not showing my screen. Okay. Okay, constants. Okay. Okay, constants. So, sorry guys, give me 1 minute. My computer seems to have frozen. Okay, screen. Let me share my screen again. Okay, finally. Okay, so constants are identifier values that remain constant and fixed throughout the execution of a program. So obviously this improves readability, and it makes it more clearer, and it increases the optimization of compiler by improving the performance, and it also reduces the memory space taken up. So it improves performance and it reduces memory space taken up. And so the gravitational constant on Earth is 9.81 newtons per kilogram. If you do not know that, then here's some physics knowledge for you. 9.81, meaning that that's the constant acceleration. And weight is calculated by multiplying the mass and the gravitational field strength. So since it's always constant throughout, we can assign a constant to the gravitational field strength. So can anyone else give me another type of constant they can think of? Shlok, I can see your hand up.
Constant day hours equal 24.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking of that. Does anyone have any else?
Constant
Me.
year days equals 365.
Well, I mean, if you don't count leap years, then
Yeah, don't count leap year.
you can say 365.25.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, you can
Wait, can I say kg equals gram times 1,000?
Sorry?
Can I say kg equals gram times 1,000?
Kg equals gram time. Okay. Um, no, not really. Okay, that equation is constant, but like the variable itself is not constant, right? It's like your grams could be, I don't know, 230, or grams could be 435. The equation is constant. Like, for example, weight is mass times gravity. That is constant, but the variable is not constant. So unfortunately, no.
I have another one.
Yeah.
Um,
Sorry, I muted you. Sorry.
chess squares equals to 54.
Sorry?
Chess squares equals to 54.
Test scores equals 54.
No, chess squares.
Oh, it's chess squares. Yeah, that's quite creative actually. I never thought of that.
Oh, I've got another one.
Yeah.
Can you say rectangle? Rectangle equals L times W.
No, again, that's the equation. You have to have a value, like, let's say deck of cards. Deck of cards is always 52, right? So that's always constant. Kavanaya, do you have another one you can think of?
You could, or instead of saying rectangles, length times width, you could say rectangle equal 4 sides. I mean, like 4.
Rectangle equals 4 sides. That's a good one. Kavanaya, do you have another one? Okay. Kavanaya, are you
Oh,
there?
I've got another one. Can I say this?
Okay, fine. Yeah, sure.
Pentagon equals 5 sides.
Yeah, okay.
Hexagon equals 6 sides.
Yeah. The list.
And I'll,
8 sides.
Yes. Okay. Yes, the list goes on and on. Decagon equals 10 sides.
Can you have week equals 7 days?
Yeah, of course. Week equals 7 days. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So on a side note, unfortunately, okay, somebody said something in the chat. Euler's constant, yes. Or you can say Planck's constant, Sandra. Planck's constant. Anyway, let's carry on. Unfortunately, in Python, we cannot declare a variable or a value that's constant. There's no syntax. So just for this slide, we're just going to look at some Java code. So, we can say const. Const stands for constant. Double GFS, which stands for gravitational field strength or gravitational acceleration, equals 9.81. Sorry. And double weight equals mass times GFS. Now, double does not mean double. Does not mean doubling 9.81. Okay. So many people think that. Double means, yeah, which look would like to answer.
It's a type.
wait, can I tell?
Yeah, sure.
So double in Java, it's like a type of variable that will contain decimals. For example, double weight equals 9.81. It's a type of variable.
Correct. You're correct. Thank you, Shreya.
Which contains decimals.
Yep. So also the number of hours in a day cannot change. As I said before, it's always 24 hours. So const int hours equals 24. So again, in Java, we say const as a constant, and we say int. Int means integer, and hours means, okay, you can call it anything you want. I called it HRS. You can also call it HURS. And that's always 24 hours. Does anyone have any questions?
This is Java syntax, correct?
Sorry, yeah, this is Java, correct. In the chat, someone is asking. Shreya said no, good. Okay, let me continue. Okay, yep. So data types, this slide is about data types. So it's a mean of classifying data, identifying data.
You muted yourself.
Yeah, I know. Data type, yeah. So it's a means of classifying data or identifying data. It's simply it's how the data will be stored. So there are quite a lot of data types. So one is data type as being a string. A string is a sequence of characters. For example, hello world, it's got a lot of text. So HELLOWORLD. This is all, this in one is a string. It's got more and more characters. Boolean is one value out of two values, such as true, false, or computers will read it in binary. Does anyone know what binary is?
It's the language where 1 and 0s is the only thing computers understand.
Yeah, correct.
And
Ones and zeros, yeah.
It's a number language that where only 1 and 0s exist.
Yeah, correct. 1 zeros, yeah. So
When we say, let's say this was computers, but it's actually one pixels.
Sandra, you're breaking up a lot. Sandra, for some reason you're breaking up a lot. I'm not too sure why. Sandra? Sandra? Yeah, can you please repeat what you said? I couldn't hear you. Yeah, can you please repeat what you said? You kind of broke up.
he's trying to fix his audio issue.
Sorry?
He said he's trying to fix his audio issue.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, so okay, so another type of Boolean could be like, are you late for school, or are you not late for school, or do you have a pencil, or do you not have a pencil, or do you have, I don't know, a computer, or do you not have a computer? It's either one of two values. Just on a side note, binary is a base 2 numerical system because it's got two bases. Okay, let me carry on. So a float or a real is a number with a decimal point fractional component, and this can be 38.62 or 72.53. This is similar to a double in Java. Okay, let me carry on. Integer. Integer is a whole number like 12, 37, 88, 69, 41, 31. And a character is a letter, symbol, or number in a character set. So K, dollars, pounds, hashtag, ASP. You can even have emojis. Emojis can be also part of a symbol or a character set. Like, let me just go back to my editor. So if I said Z, sorry, text as being hello world, and then I'm just going to do a quick command. List text split.
We're not sharing your screen.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me try sharing again. Oh wait, Shreyas is asking a question. And you just see the question. Can you say that a string is a type of character and also an integer and a boolean? Okay, so string, in a way you can, yeah. Okay, so string is a combination of characters but like bumped up together. But you cannot say string is an integer or a boolean, because the string is text, whereas an integer is a number, and boolean is either true or false. Does that answer your question? Shreyas?
I meant Boolean. Is it a type of character?
Boolean.
I didn't mean it is. I didn't say it is a type of string. I meant it is a type of character.
You can't say that. Sorry.
And okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let me just do a quick code. LST is equal to list. You won't understand it now. You may not understand it now, but I'm just doing it for teaching purposes. Okay, so the text we had here was hello world. Okay, this is a string. Okay, however, I just did some code and this split up the text into individual letters. HELLOWORD. So this is a character. Each letter represents a character. Does everyone understand? Okay, let me carry on. So selection can be done using an else statement. So an if statement contains a block of code that executes a condition is true. And else can be, okay, I'm not going to sue the company. Else is done. Sorry, I'm not suing anyone here. I'm just, can be done. Okay, can be done when the condition is false. So the syntax in Python would be, if expression is true, then do this, else do another thing. So let's say if my name is Sid, then I'll print correct. Else I'll print no, you're wrong. Here is an example of a flowchart diagram. So a flowchart just makes it easier to see. So you have some code here, and then you have a condition. So when the if condition is true, then there's an if block. And then when this condition is true, it's going to do something. If the condition is false, it will do something else. I think this is a bit better way of explaining. So you have some code here, and then you have like a junction, you can say. So this diamond is a flowchart symbol, and this represents an if statement or an else statement or conditional statement. So if this statement is true, then it goes to B. And if this statement is false, then it goes to C. So this shape is kind of like a curved rectangle, and this rectangle represents to do any sort of code. So in flowcharts, I may as well just tell you this right now. My screen is frozen again. Sorry, today my computer has some non-conformance. Let me stop sharing my screen. Share again. In the second image, can you say you are assigning a variable for a Boolean? Shreyas, can you please unmute? I don't quite understand what you mean by that question.
No, you know, in the second image, it is saying A, if A equal to true, okay? It and true is the boolean, right? So then,
What are you talking about here?
no. This go to the like the flowchart.
Oh, sorry, here, yeah.
Hey, you said if A equal to true. Does that mean you're saying a variable? You can assign a boolean to a variable?
Yeah, you theoretically, yes, you can. Yeah. So if A is equal to true, so if the condition of A is true, then it will do B. So you can technically say it's being assigned. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you can. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just that it's just checking that if A is true, then it does this. Else, if it's wrong, it does C. Okay. Let me. What's happening here? Sorry. My computer's gone bizarre today. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see
Yes.
the paint tool.
You can all see my screen, right? Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Please work. Okay. Just click here. Okay. So if I had an if statement, so no, sorry, I'm so sorry. So I'm going to do some flowchart symbols here. You feel free to copy along if you want. So when you're talking about flowcharts, this symbol is a conditional statement. That represents the if, that represents the else and stuff. Okay. Right. This symbol just represents like a just normal code, like print this or do this or assign number to this. This is just your normal code. Okay. Okay. We can have another symbol, and this is a parallelogram. This represents a user input. Okay, so I'll go through one more time. So this symbol here is a conditional statement representing an if and an else. This statement here, sorry, this shape here is a rectangle, and this represents just your normal code. This here is a parallelogram, and this represents your input. Does everyone get it? Sadra, Ashwin, Kavanaya, do you all get it?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Let me go back to my PowerPoint. Okay. Good. So here is selection if else statement in Python. And we're just going to be running through some if and else statements. So let's put an initial count variable as 0. Can everyone please open their Jupyter notebooks? I'm so sorry. The second image. Shreyas, what screen do you want to take a screenshot of?
You know, you're on the painting tool. Can
Oh.
you revert to that screen?
Yes, sure.
And can I take a screenshot?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I've got a recording. You can access it from the recording also, because I'm recording this meeting. But you can take a screenshot if you want.
Okay, fine.
Anyone else can take the screenshot if you want. It's free. Free to use.
It's fine. I'll take it later. Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, let me carry on. Can you see my screen?
No.
No, you can't.
No.
Great. Awesome. Okay, now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me carry on. Okay, so count is equal to 0. Can everyone please open their Jupyter notebooks and please copy along the code as I am speaking? So first, we're going to assign a count variable as 0. Okay? And then we're going to assign a num variable to 10. Okay? Then word is equal to Benema. Okay? Assigns Benema to variable identifier. If word is equal to Benzema and num is equal to 10. I'm sure you've heard of this name before. Do any of you like football? Or
Wait, is
soccer?
it Benema or?
Yeah.
Do any of you watch soccer or football?
Yes.
Yes.
No, Karim Benzema.
Yes.
Okay, that's who I'm referring to here.
Oh.
Good. I was just making a side note. Anyway, if word is equal to Benzema. Okay, notice I have used 2 equal tos. Okay. Equal to, it checks if it's 1 equal to, just assigns it. Okay, it doesn't check anything. It just assigns it. So if I said if word equal to Benzema, is going to be giving me an error because I am assigning something in an if statement, which doesn't really make sense. So we can say if word is equal to Benzema. So 2 equal tos just checks. And num is equal to 10. So it's just checking if statement. It's just checking 2 conditions are true at the same time. On a side note, can anyone please tell me the time? Because my computer will not show the time for some reason.
12:31.
8:31.
8:31 in England.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you, Shlok. Okay, and thank you everyone else. So if word is equal to Benzema and num equals 10, print correct. Okay, so I want both these conditions to be true. Not 1, not 0, just both of them to be correct. And if they're both correct, then the count is equal to count plus 3. Okay, so we had the initial variable as count as 0. Now we are adding on 3 points. So now we've updated the variable. Okay, this is not, yeah, sorry, Shlok.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
So can't you say count is plus equals 3?
Yeah, you can do that. I'm surprised you know that. Very good. So you can say count plus equal to 3. I'll just write it down here. Okay, forget it. Print score is equal to plus str count. Does anyone remember what this method is called? Apart from
Converting into string.
correct, Shreya.
Concatenation.
Huh?
Concatenation.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's concatenations when you put the plus sign, when you put the 2 values together. but I'm asking, what is the code when you convert one data type to another? It begins with the C. Should I give you a clue? Okay, you know in movies, you research the actors' names. What are they? The cast, correct. Casting, correct, actually, yeah. So so STR count, so casting. So we are concatenating the casting value of count. Okay. If this is not true, elif. Elif stands for else if. Okay, it's just a simple way of writing else if. Okay, elif word is equal to Benzema. Okay, that is true. And num is not equal to 10. Okay, so or word not equal to, exclamation mark equal to means not equal to Benzema, and num is equal to 10. Oh, sorry. This checks if exactly one of either statement is correct. Not both, not neither, but exactly one. Then print you're partially correct and count plus equal to 1. 1 point. So if one of them is correct, you get 1 point. And again, we have the concatenation and casting here. Else, if neither of them are correct, then you're an idiot. So you have no points. So print wrong. Okay. Does anyone have any questions? I'll pick a random person to share their screen. Who's this? Sadra. Yes. Okay. Sadra, can you please share your screen? Oh, sorry, I have to stop sharing. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Sadra, yeah, I can hear you. Can you please share your screen?
Yes, I have a question first. Can you run the code to provide us a better understanding of what it does?
Can I run the code?
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, two things. One, I have to literally copy and paste everything into my code and have to type everything up. It's going to take a long time. And secondly, we have unfortunately run out of time. 2035. But have you got your code working, Sandra?
I'm just typing it in. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Don't
not
worry,
there yet, but
if you have any questions, I'll create another if and else statement in my own Jupyter notebook, and I'll go through some examples again, maybe next week.
Wait, I have a question.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
What does count plus equals to if you're partially correct?
Sorry.
Count count is equal to count plus what if you're partially correct?
Count equals count plus 1.
Okay. And then
You can also, I've written down in the comments here if you can see. Yeah. Count is equal to count plus 1, but you can also write count plus equal to 1.
you're not sharing your screen, so.
Great. Awesome. Why am I not sharing my screen? Okay, good. So count is equal to count plus 1 is the same thing as count plus equal to 1. You get it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we've run over time. I would definitely continue this next week or whenever you are coming next. I think I'll see most of you on Friday, right? I think for Java.
Yeah.